Welcome back to the Elm Creek Adventure for episode 30 with me, MrSealyp. We're into March, and there's snow on the ground again. Now, I know I kept saying, oh, it's really weird, the forecast is saying, I know in some parts of the world, they'll have snow right the way through into spring, March, April, then it sort of clears, then, you get a very short window of farming, I guess. As you saw, after me saying between February and March I wasn't going to do any contracts off screen, that potato contract was I just couldn't not do it. It paid 46 grand before borrowing equipment. I think what did it pay in the end? 44. But more importantly, I've got 222,467 litres of potatoes left. That contract, when I did it, was over on field 58, which is not 58, 68. This one here. And obviously the silo is just here, so it was just bouncing backwards and forwards. I think I had, by the time I finished the contract, about 780,000 litres of potatoes, I think. They had to go to the Johnson's Farmers Market, so by the time I delivered them all, we were left with 222,000 litres. Best price at the moment is at Goldcrest Valley, so what I might do then is send them by train. So the money, we're looking okay. I've got a couple of jobs I need to do. So what I'm going to do is grab... What am I going to grab? I'm going to grab the John Deere. I'm going to grab the little low loader. I'm going to whiz back up to the sawmill that we bought because we've got another 4 pallets. So it looks like each half month, because I'm doing 2-day months, so every couple of weeks we're getting about 4 pallets of planks. They need to go down to the carpentry. I'll drive over there and get that done. You don't need to necessarily see me doing that. Our wool has started to be produced from our 20 sheeps. So we've got 106 litres, not a huge amount. I think these are 1,000 litre pallets again. I think they are. I'm pretty sure they didn't go up to 2,000s. Sorry if I lost my train of thought. Knock on the door. Right, so we've got some wool being produced. These are still ticking over, and we've got some fruit and veg. I'm worried about it spoiling, but it's nice and cold, so we shouldn't have any problems. We've got our 3 pallets of tomatoes. We've got some eggs there, and the eggs they're producing just over there, and we've got a thing of lettuce. So we might need to deliver some of that in a little while before, let's say, before it goes bad. Our crops are growing. I think the sorghum's going to be the first one done. That's on dark green, so yeah, potentially that'll be next month, maybe. So it got me thinking about the production chains. I think with the money we've got, I'm going to go and sell the potatoes. I'm going to drive over to get the potatoes sent off because the best price is Goldcrest Valley, but that is dropping at the moment. I'm thinking of buying this little plot here and putting another production chains on it. I was thinking of spinnery. There is a spinnery here on the map, obviously, but I thought if we have one here, we could do our own wool spinnery. We could spin a yarn. And then we can produce fabric. I don't think there's a tailor's either, but we could have a knock-on effect from that. What else was I thinking we could do? Yeah, I'm just thinking with the money, this plot, I think this is only about 50 grand, and I'm pretty sure to buy the spinnery might be about 60, so 110 grand. That said, we haven't got a lot of wool at the moment. So I was wondering maybe, I do like the red lights under here, whether we could get another pen. Again, that's more expensive, another 50 grand for another pen, then the animals as well. I know I keep saying it, I know I keep complaining about it, but the production chains thing is a great idea. It's a little bit like the factories packs and production packs were on 19. A fantastic idea, but they were quite slow. Not always, some were quite slow, and all the changes they've done to this, 20 sheep on FS19 would be producing more wool than that. Now, again, I get it, they're trying to make it more realistic, blah, blah, blah. I'm on 2-day months now. I've changed it to 2-day months. Now, you can have it anywhere from a 1-day month to a 28-day month. If that's what you're getting in 2 days with 20 sheep, I mean, I know it's not a huge amount of sheep, but that's pretty pitiful, isn't it? Anyway, right, so I'll see you over at the railroad silo. We'll get the potatoes sent off. Do I buy that plot now? I'm just wondering whether it's a false economy, whether or not I'd be better off doing what I said. Because we can take that stuff to the regular spinnery, but then we don't get the fabric because we don't own it yet. And then we lose it as a sell point if anything pops up for other stuff. Or do I buy that plot I was talking about? So I know this is lots of ifs and buts, and I should have kind of made that decision. I said about buying, what plot? 52, because that's got a fair bit of grass around it, and grassing it, and then we've got a nice grass source, and then potentially work out a deal with the biogas plant, in inverted commas, we'll work out a deal, and we can get some silage going. I haven't done any silage work. I've got a contract on field 30 for, what am I doing? Sowing. I'll get onto that. That'll probably be off camera. So yeah, I've got a few things to transport around. I do know as well now that I can put the pallets onto this trailer and I don't have to take the telehandler with me. So that's good. I need to find a new source of rocks because my rock machine is just sitting there. Thank you for everyone that commented about which way am I going? Doesn't really matter, I suppose. About Chris and Angie having that noisy rock machine crusher in front of their house. I did say, well, hopefully it's temporary. Thank you. Yes, a couple of people did point out that I hadn't changed the economy back. I honestly, hand on heart, that was a mistake. I know I mentioned it and I meant to put it back on normal and I didn't. In putting it back on normal, it hasn't made a huge amount of difference to contracts, what I'll get contract-wise. Prices for things obviously have dropped. You know, the difference between the easy and normal economy makes a big difference. So yeah, I won't get as much money selling my stuff, but that was initially a mistake on my part, and then not changing it back was just I forgot, honestly. You know, there was that kind of tongue-in-cheek when I first said about it. I thought, oh yeah, maybe I could leave it on easy. Anyway, so this is where we're at. I'm trying to get through the months a bit quicker. I may well, I'm just thinking of my other Let's Play, and I might set that, well, no, I might leave it on 2-day months. And the same with this one, I think I might start skipping through months rather than, I think I kind of got into the habit on FS19, I'm doing the same one here, of trying to do something each day or each month, you know, but sometimes it's just better for the flow of stuff and what you're going to be doing to skip forward a bit. Then I'll have a bit more produce on hand, stuff to sell, you know. Maybe that'd be something to think about. And as I said right at the very start of all this, when we started in FS22, the look of a Let's Play has changed because of the way they've done seasons, because of the production change, because of the slow processing speed of a lot of the stuff, because of the monthly pay rather than hourly pay. Things are very different on how you tackle it and how you look at it, you know. I'm an old person trying to cope with change, you know. We don't cope with change well, us old folks. Terrible, isn't it? Right, so I'm going to call the train. Sorry, I was going to drive over here off camera, but we're here now. Oh, actually, that's a good point. I think I might need to bring the telehandler with me because I've got a couple of furniture pallets that are going to need moving. Right, now, this frustrates me. Hang on. It's annoying because, you know, I'm getting to that point where I don't need to have the interactive zone markers on for a lot of stuff, but things you don't use very often. I wasn't sure whether this was at the front or, you know, and without having the help window open, top left, you don't know if you're actually over the trigger or not. So you kind of have to, and if I press L3 here, do I know the train's coming? There's nothing else on the screen other than the help menu that says the train's on its way. So I could stand there for ages thinking, oh yeah, train's coming, it's not. So, unfortunately, yeah, I have to have those, just a bit, yeah. A bit frustrating. Of course it would be ages away. Right, I'll see you when the train's here, we've got it loaded, and we will send that off to get rid of those potatoes. That will give us a nice bit of money. Not massive amounts of money. I think it's paying 390 for 1,000 litres, did it say? At Goldcrest for potatoes. Yeah, 393. It's falling, but 393 for the potatoes. But 222,000 litres, it's a bit of money. It's a bit of extra money, so we could do with it. Let's start filling. I'll show how many train cars this is going to take. Might have to go into the third one as well. And then I'm going to back it up. There's no point driving all the way the other way. We'll just reverse back. And we should then get our money for it. I really am torn. I don't know what to do. Do I buy more sheep and get a spinnery and really get that up and running? 210, yeah, we'll have to go further, won't we? I need to go to that, open there. We'll put the last little bit in here. So there we go. So let's back it up. Now we have got well, just the weekend, and then Giants are back in the office Monday, I think the 10th. Yes, please. 87,421. That was well worth doing. So that contract, I mean, yes, it took me absolutely ages. It really did. There was 44 grand, so 120, 130 grand for the contract. Now, what I was starting off by saying was, actually I need to turn those off, hang on. That's better. I'm doing that in editing as well, by the way. A lot of people are asking me whether I've had any joy. Well, I'll pick that one, yeah, why not? Whether I've had any joy with the side panel. And I think, as far as I'm still aware, that's a Sony thing. That was Sony that decided to close off the port for PS5 games, not necessarily PS5, I think. Which means the side panel won't work. Actually, should I just go across the tracks? I know I shouldn't, but assuming, of course, the trailer will. Will the trailer allow it? Yeah, probably not the best thing to do. So no, my side panel's still not working. If you see me bouncing in and out of menus like that, 90% of the time that's done during editing. So yeah. Yeah, so they're back in the office on Monday, as far as I'm aware. Now, whether we'll get mods on Monday, I don't know. Depends whether the testers, the QA team, get straight onto testing, or whether they've got dev stuff to do. Because I know a lot of them bounce between various different jobs. You've got dev guys that do QA, and I don't think they have necessarily specific QA department, so to speak. Although you've got, I know Ken is. Ken Burgess is a QA lead, I think, but I think they all do other jobs as well. But that being said, so that's going to be a big thing on Monday, whether or not we do get mods, and when the mods come, can I do a mod review without being crashing? Are we going to see another update? Because obviously there are still things that aren't working, that are causing problems and that kind of thing. One being, which was what got me onto it, was saying about the amount of potatoes I had left off that harvest. A lot of people had said, well, that's a problem that Giants are aware of. They made that fix to get the contracts to work properly, but they're aware that some of the contracts are leaving you with way too much produce at the end of the contract. So, have I come the wrong way? Oh no. It's like, oh, hang on. So that could all change again. So we're likely to get another update, but when that's going to be, I'm not too sure. We'll just have to wait and see, really. So Monday's going to be an interesting day. With what I said before, and they had 3,000 mods submitted with a 90% failure rate, which is bogging the whole system down a bit. But 3,000 mods, you think about a 50% success rate. If I can get a mod review to work without the game crashing, if they dropped 200 mods on one day, that's just not possible. It's not viable. I don't know whether I'd have to start looking at doing a mod review of the top mods of that day, or, you know, again, we'll just see what happens when mods start to appear. We're going to start seeing more mod maps coming through, I would imagine. But again, we'll see. Monday's the telling day, really. Apologies, now a lot of people have been saying I haven't been putting out much content. I know I did say in the last video on Obeleron, and you may not have watched the Obeleron one. I haven't been feeling very well, so I hadn't really put much out. Plus my wife's been on holiday, on leave. She goes back to work Monday, technically back to work. Obviously there's going to be a certain amount of working from home still, so she's been off, so we've been kind of not necessarily going out places, but we've been spending a bit more time together, you know. So whereas normally I would sit at my, you know, PlayStation and my computer all day long, making videos, editing videos, doing all the things I normally do, I've only been doing that one video, and then we've been sort of doing other things, family stuff as well, because it's been Christmas and New Year. So yeah, apologies if it's annoyed people that I haven't been putting much stuff out. I kind of took the opportunity. Often she'll be off at Christmas, then straight back to work, you know, straight after, and I kind of just thought, well, if she's off, then, you know, take some time. So yeah, hopefully normal business will be resumed from Monday. The streaming situation, I haven't tried for the 4K Elgato yet. We had some setup issues, and there have been a few problems I have encountered along the way. But again, hopefully we'll get a stream done at some point too. I know it's just been a weird, I don't know, it's been a weird couple of weeks, I'm not going to lie. Between, you know, just before Christmas through to New Year, and then this week after, it's just been very peculiar, and I can't put my finger on what it is, you know. Something's been off in the world generally, but with me as well, and I don't know, yeah, it's odd. I know some people say, oh, you know, it's depression, and I know it's a difficult one, and I've talked about it before, when people say about being depressed, and the first thing people will always say is, well, what you've got to be depressed about. Depression isn't a thing per se to be like it's a chemical imbalance in the brain, generally speaking. When people get depression, it's, you know, you can look at a person's life and say they've got everything, what they've got to be depressed about. If that chemical imbalance is telling them they're fed up and they're miserable, and, you know, yeah, from the outside looking in, they can have everything, and you can't understand. It doesn't make sense. I don't think it is. I don't know. Everyone says, oh, it's the January blues, isn't it, after Christmas, that kind of thing. But again, that's not something I've ever experienced before. And I can't kind of put my finger on, if it is that, why? What would be causing it? What am I fed up about? I don't know, it's odd. It's very odd. But again, on the whole, you know, mental health issues. Oh, God, you know, I didn't do. Should be probably a good idea. Let's strap that. There. Probably need to strap down the vehicle as well. I think that, although it raised it, I think it's strapped. Yeah, on the sort of mental health and well-being and that kind of thing. If you are feeling even anything like that, you know, post-Christmas blues, January blues, you're feeling down, fed up, miserable. It might be because you did spend time with family at Christmas, or you didn't, or, you know, whatever it might be. Reach out to friends, family, you know. If you haven't got anyone, send me a message. You know, I will get to them. I don't always. Comments are always a trickier one. Direct messages I try to respond to as soon as I can. Again, it depends, but I will get to them. You know, I just don't like to think of people being alone and sad and fed up, and, you know, it's not a nice place to be. So, and I talk about it a lot, and it's important, you know. It's something that, in talking about it previously, that you go back sort of 10, 20, 30, 50 years, men generally didn't talk about at all. It was a kind of taboo subject. And I know we're kind of coming out of that a lot more. There are still a lot of people that don't, men and women, not just men, that don't like to talk about how they're feeling and that kind of thing. But I think we're getting better, you know, we're getting better with it. And whereas there was kind of very much an attitude for a long time of people saying, you know, just shake it off, just, you know, snap out of it. It's not always that straightforward, you know. Anyway, I don't need to bring the mood down, or just, you know, thinking out loud as I often do. I'll see you at the carpentry. Actually, will I see you at the carpentry? Yeah, maybe. I'll move the couple of pallets. I haven't even looked to see what furniture pays. We could maybe take a couple of those and sell those while we're on our route round selling stuff. Then when we get back, I'm going to look at our options for spinnery. There definitely is a separate one that we can place. Oh, I think there's a couple of separate ones we can place. And buying that plot of land, have I got enough room on that plot of land? Now I've got 360 grand. That 80 grand for the potatoes has made a massive difference. Have I got enough room on there to place a spinnery and another sheep pen? That could work, couldn't it? Like I said, I still need to find somewhere to get more rocks. To get that rock crusher up and running again. Because we need to put some revenue coming in while we haven't got crops. You know, it's the only problem with seasonal work, you know. You need a revenue stream. If you want to be expanding and buying stuff and moving forward with what you're doing, you need some money coming in from somewhere. And often it's not the crops. It's the diversification of your farm and all the other things you're doing. Production change is great. Hang on, have we got frozen? Is the water frozen? That was me saying it hasn't done it. Does that look frozen to you? Oh, I'm not too sure. Can't tell. I really wasn't expecting the snow today. I know I looked at the weather forecast and it was saying snow, you know, March, April, and you think, well, that will change. I mean, you know, that's not going to happen, is it? Then we go. I'm doing it again. We're going to get all the way to the carpentry and. Notice it's that little bit of kind of not lag, but sort of juddering. This field here, the grass field, a few people have said to me every time I try to do any work on that field, their game crashes. And it's the only place on the map I've found that when I drive past, I get this weird kind of judder. It's very peculiar. There we go. There's our boards going to production. We go up to our production. Furniture planks, we've now got 8,000 litres, just over. Wood's still going. We are storing. Yeah, the wood's, again with that, the wood chip storing, it's okay, but it's not. Again, I'm on 2-day months. And this has been, what, over a month we've been running now, and we're just, yes, it's a production chain. Yes, we're getting some wood chips, but it's not really, yeah, I don't know. Probably just me. Probably just me. Where's that? There we go. I'd obviously moved a little bit. There we go, that's that done. Straps off. Now I'll load these 2 pallets on. I'm just thinking it might, whatever I do, it's going to be a bit of an anticlimax today. I can put the spinnery building in, but I can put that tiny bit of wall. We've got a tiny bit there. But I suppose it's all about the next step, isn't it? Then we do get to that point where we have got the wall to put in it. It's all a lot more, so exciting. Oh, that thing I was going to check was furniture prices, wasn't I? What is furniture selling for and where? Our flat packed furniture. Grocery Mart. Prices dropping 3195. So yeah, it's worthwhile doing what we're doing. We're heading back to the farm. We might as well take it and sell it. I know the price is dropping. It's not green. It's not as high as it could be, but it's good those forks are just a little bit longer. You can get them on there. I think what we'll do, we might as well just leave them on the forks. I don't know. Oh. Maybe not. That's interesting. I thought it might, but let me put those down. Oh. Do that thing. There we go. Shut them down now. Kind of. It looks like it's locked both in place. That'll do. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Straps. Straps. Ramps. Should have had those on, I guess. Back to Grocery Mart. I think whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to buy that plot of land anyway. Just trying to think, have I done this all in one take so far? I don't know how I've done. I think I've had a couple of stops. It wasn't my intention to do it like this. So we may end up today with more sheep. I mean, we are spinning a yarn, so to speak. We'll get the spinnery put in. Probably won't be putting any wool into it just yet. Problem is, I've got to stop thinking like I did an FS19. So I looked at that price for the furniture and thought, God, that's an amazing price. That's per 1,000. There's all that monthly nonsense. Assume it's just round the back, is it? So this could end up not paying anywhere near what I think it's going to pay. We'll just take this automatically. Yep. $6,391. Yeah, that's alright actually. Now thinking about what I paid for the spinnery, what was that, 60 grand? you do a few runs like that, and the carpentry pays for itself actually fairly quickly. Telehandlers need to go back up to the sawmill fairly soon. You know what? Snow's not going to help with doing this actually. Oh, that's a good point actually. I wonder, because I know I haven't done this in the snow yet. On FS19, all that grass is still there, I need to remove that too. On FS19, so snow on the ground, you couldn't place stuff, it wouldn't let you. Again, you may well have already been doing this, I haven't really, this is my first. Jam the brakes on, slide, right, beacon's off. Did I lose that one? Yep. Whoops. Right. Let's check this out, shall we? So, plot of land. Field 49. Could do 47, that's a bit flatter, but it's a bit more expensive. I'm just thinking whether that might be a better alternative. 64 grand versus 56, so it's not a huge amount in it really, is there? It's a bit more around the edge of that one as well. So let's have a look. Because this one might be flatter. Might be better for placing things. Plus there's more room if I want to put some more sheep on there maybe. You know what? Let's go down that route. Let's buy that. Let's go to production. Factories. No, factories. Bakery, carpentry, dairy, grain mill, spinnery. 60 grand. It's quite a big building, that spinnery. Is that the only one? See, that's the other thing, sugar mill. I was thinking about the sugar mill. It's 80 grand. But if we start picking up the contracts for sugar beet, any contract that pops up for sugar beet and we've got any left over, we can just deliver that and we can get sugar on the go. Because then if we move on to the bakery, we can switch greenhouses to strawberries. We can get crops in. We can start doing some more stuff for the bakery as well. So all ideas. There's a smaller spinnery there. Still 60 grand. I think that might be more in keeping with a more kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. Trying to find the best place on here, because the lower that amount is, the flatter the ground is, because it doesn't do as much work. Maybe if I put it right at the front here. 115. Not straight though. This is the other thing as well. Is that straight-ish? You know what? Let's do it. I know it's right at the front. We could have put it further at the back, but then I've got a lot of room for other stuff here now. Not too expensive. The swirling spindle. Nice. That's how. That's what I mean. No active products at the moment. So behind that then, should we put some more sheep in? I've got grass. That's not a problem. Actually, I've sort of, oh, I can't what to say. I need to check and see how the grass has grown from where I cut it before. But we've got snow on the ground, haven't we? We have got room on here, and we could get quite a few on here. And this is my property now. I own this. This is mine. So I know I'm not putting more stuff on Chris and Angie's lawn. Let's go to this. Go across our animals. Let's go to sheep. It's 97 grand for the bigger one, but it holds 65 sheep. 97. I can afford it. You know what? Let's do it. Now, not sure where the pallets... Do I put it next to it, the front? Yeah, that brings the price right down, doesn't it? Nothing seems to want to straighten up though. No, a lot of times you just watch me trying to straighten up. Oh, come on. Oh, that's a bit better. Should we stick it right there? Oh, that's better. Boom. Okay. So maybe this one will stick 40 in because it takes a load more. Have I got enough money to buy 40? And get the grass in. That looks like it's higher at the front than the other one is. So then hopefully by the second half of March or into April we'll have a load more wool we can stick into the spinnery. I'm hemorrhaging cash though, that is the problem, sort of. Okay, well that I wasn't anticipating going that big with the building, but getting the barn's a better idea because obviously the water's already there. Don't have to worry about that. I need to go and get a livestock trailer again then, don't I? And let's get a load of sheep. I wonder if I can... Oh no, I don't own a lorry. A semi. We need to definitely ramp up production. 114 litres of wool is not going to get us very far at our own spinnery. And on that plot then, yeah, I'm thinking sugar mill, you know. We get sugar. There's not a sugar mill here on Elm Creek, is there? Just thinking that. What have we got down the side here? Great processing, debris crusher, the oil mill, isn't it? Carpentry. There's not a sugar mill, is there? That's the biomass. A cereal factory, dairy. Livestock market. Grain mill. Spinneries here. No. Well, I never. It's not actually crossed my mind until now. Okay, right. Sheeps. Whoa. That didn't want to turn. I'm on the third load. I'm using the Noah TTW 140 livestock trailer this time. The other two modded ones take 10 sheep. This one takes 13, so in 3 loads I'm up to 39. 6,355 for 13. So I'm going to buy those. And then what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to have one transported, I think. So we'll take these, drop them off. And then I'll be putting the grass in for feed. Yeah, we've still got 125 grand. It's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Again, I'm thinking, you know, sheep are 1,500 each. Of course they're not. That was FS19 prices. 488. You're getting 3 sheep. I mean, obviously it depends. If you go for newborns, I'm going for the ones that are of breeding age. So they're more expensive. You can get that price down even more if you want to. But I'm getting 3 sheep for the price of 1 on FS19. So, yeah. It's funny how your mind sticks. What I find more interesting is how many times have I done a video where when I'm doing harvesting. Whoa, I'm doing harvesting. And I can never remember the control for enable straw swath, or I'm doing what's the other thing I always forget. And yet there are certain things that are so ingrained into what you do, you just take for granted, oh yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It's going to cost X, Y, or Z, Z. It's, you know, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. And then you say, oh no, that's all changed, hasn't it? Of course it has. Certainly keep me on my toes, that's one thing I can say. Unload point is this side. I have turned on the interactive markers again, just so I know what I'm doing. Kind of. Don't need to slow that down, but I will do. It's no longer available. What? What about now? Explain it. I don't understand. So in its unload position, if you're going more realistically, you drop that down, doors open, and I'm not getting the trigger come up. Oh, there we go. Just had to be in the sweet spot. Price drops down. They were $4.88 each. They're now $1.20 each because you've bought them and they're not worth as much. As their health comes back up again, the value increases again. So I want to move those 13, so up to 39. And what we're going to do is let's raise that up. This was only 1,000 and something to lease. It can often be a false economy, depending on what you're doing with regard to your livestock. Leasing one of these can be more expensive than paying to have your animals, whatever livestock is, delivered. But sometimes you want to go for a more kind of realistic kind of, well, I want to bring them myself, I want to deliver them. If you own the livestock trailer and you're doing a lot of livestock, then it's irrelevant because you own it already. I just prefer delivering them, I think. That said, if we go down to there, I want to click on that, but I only want one. And that will take me to my 40. Or do I go 45? No, we'll go one. The fee's 50. It's not a huge amount of money, is it? But there we go. We're up to our 40. Double what we've got over there, but that does give us 60 sheep in total now. So hopefully by the second half of March and into April, we'll have a load of wool here, we'll have more wool over there, and we can get our spinnery up and running, which is not quite yet. I have to say, I've done more than I thought I was going to do. I had it in my head I was going to buy that plot over there. Because I kind of worked out the finances and I thought with what I've got, and you know, I wasn't anticipating getting as much, well, I wasn't anticipating having as many potatoes left over after that contract. I wasn't anticipating getting as much from those potatoes. I could have, you know, on the price that was there, I could have worked it all out, done the calculations, but, you know, which has enabled us to buy our swirling spindle. Wow. I'm still, I keep thinking back to when we started with the whole Advent. We arrived minus 24. We were in debt $24. Very happy. Right, well, I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I do have, like I say, I've got a contract for sowing. No way! We've got a fertilising contract come up. I'm glad I checked. That's astounding. Oh, hallelujah. Well, it does mean we are going to get some. That's good. So, on that exciting end, fertilising contracts are available. I will see you on the next one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.